Hello and welcome back to Lawful Anime Plays Neverwinter Nights 2 Complete Edition. I'm your host Lord Fenton. In this Neverwinter Nights 2 build video, we're doing the Pure Wizard build. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more Neverwinter Night 2 builds just like this. So it is now time to go over the pros and cons of this build. Here are the pros for this build. Number 1, most important, since we're playing a pure wizard, 1 through 30, we're a wizard, no experience penalties or anything like that, except for you pick the ECL races, like for example a Drow or a Druger. So no worry about that at all, about leveling. Another thing is, you're a wizard, that means you get to describe all your spells in a book, and you get to cast all of them in a book, instead of picking and choosing. Another thing is, you have power arcane magic, that is really some powerful stuff. And this build has some nice crafting options too, so you're a party favorite for crafting. Now, there's only 2 cons in this. Is number 1, you're squishy. In other words, you gotta stay in the back. Unless you want to play Rambo with your spell casting, yeah, that's a bad deal. And last but not least is your spell slots. You're a little bit limited when you pick, versus a sorcerer, they get to cast more of the same spell or the more of the same spell level. That's about it for pros and cons. Let's get with the races first. It is time to go over each and every one of the races. Let's start with the Dwarven races. Now, Go Dwarfs, for instance, they'll make decent wizards. They won't get intelligence boost, but that constitution boost is really nice. Dexterity will take a hit. Grey Dwarves, constitution's great. Charisma, that's a dump stat for this pure wizard build, so it's actually a good to a decent selection. Shield Dwarves, I'm going to probably say is just like the Grey Dwarves, instead of -2 on Charisma, instead of -4, it's -2. Another good selection. Next up, a Drow. I feel like the Drow is one of the perfect classes for a pure wizard build. You see, Dexterity, Intelligence is up there, Charisma is up there too. That's a dump stat, but Constitution is the only one that will take a hit, but still, that Intelligence is the most important for this build. So we get a little bit extra AC and such with Dex too. Sorry about the cursor. Anyways, the Moon Elf. Actually, that's a pretty good wizard build too. They're +2 dexterity, -2 constitution, no intelligence, but it makes a good one. Sun Elf, they are actually great. +2 intelligence, -2 constitution. Yeah, we'll have to just make up in that field for constitution, but still, favorite class is a wizard if you're going to multi, but still, it's a great race for it. Wild Elf. I'm going to be honest. Avoid like the plague. Wood Elf, see the Wild Elf too, yeah. -2 constitution, intelligence. They're better for rangers anyways. So I'll probably say Drought or Sun Elf is your best bet if you're going with the elves. Gnomes, Deep Gnome, this will make a good divine class. As for a wizard, make a decent one to a very good one, depends how you play it out. So dexterity and wisdom's up there. Dexterity's fine. Now +2 constitution for rock elves are good, -2 strength. Again, just use items to make that up, or buffs. Halflings, both of them. Let's see here. +2 dex and -2 strength are good. Now, if you can pick out the halflings, I'll probably say Strongheart halfling due to the fact you get 1 extra feat, just like a human. So if you can go that route, go for it. So next up is the half elf. They're actually good. No pluses and minuses in stats. However, they gain some of their elven halves. Same thing with the half drow too, if you're going to go that route. If you're worried about any negatives or positives in attribute scores, I should say ability scores. So let's go over the next one, shall we? Let's see here. Half orc. Avoid like the plague. I mean, there's -2 intelligence. Yeah, wizards need that, so no. They're more of a brute race anyways. Humans, this is actually one of the perfect ones. If you worry about any pluses or minuses, this is the race to play. 1 extra feat does not hurt. In fact, that'll be helpful. And the skill points is great. You just got to make up ground on the intelligence, though. That's the disadvantage. But still, great race. Flame Touch. There's actually some great option. Asamirs, no, they're pretty good. They're more for paladins and clerics, but still, that +2 wisdom charisma's alright. They're both dump stats, but if you want a challenge, go for it. Tieflings, they are great. +2 dex and intelligence. That's perfect. -2 charisma. Forget about that. You're not going to need that anyways. They're more of a thief race, but still, you want to go for it, that's fine. Era, Jin size, they're actually good with the +2 dex and intelligence. Your 2 dump stats, wisdom and charisma will take a hit, but who cares? Now, Earth Gen's eyes, they're more of a fire class, but still the stats are pretty decent. I say the next one's fire. That's actually good. Sea air. They're actually perfect for a wizard. Yeah, that +2 intelligence is nice. Water, constitution +2, charisma -2. They're all right for a wizard. So out of that, I'll probably say tiefling, air, and fire Gen's eyes. Yanti Pureblood, they're actually really good. You got +2 dex, +2 intelligence, and +2 charisma. That does not hurt anything more. You got the ECL penalty, but that's alright. We're actually good for most classes too in this game. Just trust me. Some of my builds are based on this race. Grey Orcs, avoid like the plague. So I'm probably going to say Drow, Sun Elf, Yanti Pureblood, humans, tieflings, of course air and I should say fire genocide. So let's go over the classes and everything else next. Since we're playing one class, it is the wizard. So 1 through 30, it's the wizard. So you better definitely get used to it. So we're going to go ahead and select that, then do the alignment for the next portion of this guide. Now for this build, I'm going to probably suggest if you don't want to be smited, lawful neutral, neutral or chaotic neutral. Otherwise, any alignment will do. You can become a lawful evil wizard or a chaotic good wizard. For deity, this is just role-playing reasons, so pick your favorite deity. Now for a wizard, no matter what, even if it's a drow like I am playing, Mysteria, yeah, that is my favorite goddess. Now let's go over the ability scores, shall we? First thing we're going to do is put strength to 12, enough just to carry a few things. Dexterity to 14. That's a main secondary focus. Constitution to 12. We would get to 14, but we're a drow, so that's the disadvantage. But oh well. Intelligence, max that to 20, big time. If you cannot, sell for 18. Wisdom and charisma, put it at 10 so you don't get penalized at all. So finalizing the stats, strength and constitution at 12. Constitution, if you get it to 14, if you're not a drow or so, or elf race, that's fine. Get it to 14. If not, 12 will do. Dexterity 14 is good enough. Intelligence, I would probably say if you get a 20, that's great. If not, 18. This build with drow I'm playing will definitely get to 30 intelligence by the time it's over with. As for background, you don't like any backgrounds, no background is fine. There's absolutely 2 of them I like. It's Natural Leader. Companions get +1 attack rolls. Your saves will suffer, but they get buffed though, since you're staying back to and firing spells like crazy. Another one I love is Wizard Apprentice. +1 spellcraft, +1 lore, and +1 craft alchemy. Your fortitude saves and spot will suffer, but you got other party members that will do those type of deals. Now for skills, concentration. This is your #1 skill. Very important. Get that maxed out at all costs. Spellcraft, that is your #2. Max out at all costs. Temple, this is cross class. Unfortunately, you're only going to get that to 2 points per level. Get your crafting skills minus craft traps up there. Now, your talking skills are optional, but I always like the talking skills, so this way I can talk my way out of danger, like diplomacy. Lore we'll deal with later on. Now, there's one feat we're going to go for. It's a level 1 feat only. You could pick. It's Spellcasting Prodigy. Now, this does is your direct challenges and such will be boosted. Now, less likely your foes will resist their spells and such. I should say your spells. Pick that. Spell schools, I'm going to say the general so you don't get penalized. If you pick one of the other schools, you'll be locked out of certain spells, so do be careful. First time playing Neverwinter Nights 2, the general spell school is the way to go. You won't get the extra spell slot, but that's alright. Since we have high intelligence anyways, we're going to get about 9 selection to level 1 spell. I always like Magic Missile, Identify, Endure Elements, Protection from Evil. Those are the very good ones. Select the ones I'm doing. That'll help you out greatly. If you can, definitely get Sleep. Oh, very important. Get your summon creature up there. Put that in your top 3, in fact. You summon the creature if you're alone. Let it tank. You cast magic and sit back and have fun. Or sit back, have a drink. Mage Armor is another great choice too. And Shield is nice. If there's any others you like, go ahead and pick also. Let's see which one's the last one. After that, next up is the Familiar. I like the Night Shield. That one's alright. But up to you on the last one. So let me go ahead and select it. Where's it at? I think I'm going to go with Color Spray. That's a classic. Now, as for familiars, I would probably say is Rabbit is a good one because you get +1 to all save throws. Another one I felt like that is great is a Beetle. It'll give you +1 hit points per level, which is a good thing. Extra hit points helps out from time to time, which I do love. So let's go ahead and do the character creation final advice. So as for races, Drow and Sun Elves are the best for the elves. I'm going to probably say it's air and, of course, fire gin size. Tieflings are good, too, and humans are great. Just remember, you can be a little squishy, but later on, the more powerful spells you have, more damage you get to do. So let's talk about the spell suggestions next. Let's go over the level 0 summons and more. Level 0 spells, you have access to all, so don't worry about being selective. You'll be able to cast them all at any time. Now, summons I suggest to stick to one type, even if I list 2 or 3 for situation types. So, for instance, if you like the undead spells, like lesser, normal, and of course the greater ones, yeah, go for it. Otherwise, the summon 1 through 9 is always nice too. Experiment as always. So, for instance, if you like one type of spell, then keep on casting it. You don't like the other type, then yeah, never ever, of course, memorize it again. You're a wizard, so you're basically memorizing spells. You get to pick and choose instead of being very, very selective like a sorcerer. So let's go over level 1, shall we? Time to go over level 1 spells. Magic Missile, that's 1d4 plus 1 damage, plus 1 missile per 2 level above the first level. Max for that is 5. Very good direct damage spell starting out. Identify, approves lore checks. This is great for identifying items. Cast this, pause the game, then start identifying items like crazy. Summon 1, summons a wolf to fight for you. Your first summon, very valuable. Use it as a meat shield. Shield gives +4 shield bonus to AC. Blocks magic missile. Great spell to have, everyone. Now, Endure Elements grants 10/ resistance against elemental foes. Great to have starting out. So let's get to the last set of level 1 spells I'm going to go ahead and suggest. Protection from alignment, +2 AC bonus against certain alignment creatures. Good or evil, your choice. Great starting spell to have. Now, here's another thing that is great. If you cast this and pick the protection from alignment, which is evil, and use the gate spell, whoever comes out of the game, if it's a devil, it'll ignore you and it'll attack the foe that's next to you. Just remember that. Mage armor, +4 armor class to AC. Great to have starting out as a mage. Sleep puts 4 hit dice or lower creatures to sleep. This is a nice beginner crowd control spell. 4 hit dice creatures surround you like crazy. You cast this, you stand back, then start picking them off one by one. Color spray, this knocks, or I should say knocks, unconscious, blinds, and or sun weak creatures. Another crowd control spell that is great. There's other level 1 spells if you want to go ahead and experiment, but these are my suggestions for level 1, so let's get to level 2. The level 2 spells, Mirror Image, creates decoy, duplicates of the caster, which is 1d4 plus 1 per 3 levels. Very powerful buff. You want to get this ASAP, if you have to get it level up. Darkness, 20-foot radius of darkness. Now, here's another note I'm going to go ahead and say. This is actually great for sneak attacks. If you can go in, you can see through the dark, your foes can't. Yeah, your sneak attacks will definitely connect. Party favorite, in fact. Now, it was OP'd as heck in the first edition in games like Warriors of the Eternal Sun, but in this game, yeah, they tone it down a bit. But still, it's a great spell to have. Knock! Open lock or magically sealed doors. Note, I'm going to say this now about knock. Will not unlock plot doors. So keep that in mind. Very useful. You don't have a rogue in the party. Summon 2. Summons a dire badger. Great to have. Better than the wolf in my eyes. Gust of wind. Knocks down some creatures and clear gaseous effects in the area. Like Cloud Kill. See Cloud Kill. Pop this baby and you're all set. So let's go ahead and do more level 2 spells. Next up is Melf's Acid Arrow. Bolt of Acid does 3d6 damage on hit, plus 1d6 per round until the spell expires. Great to have. I mean, come on, it's great. Now, Ghostly Visage grants 5/ magic damage reduction, immunity to all level 0 and, of course, 1 spells. Wonderful to have when you're starting out. Cloud of Bewilderment stuns and blind enemies for 1d6 rounds. If your foes are stunned, your rogue could have some fun. Lesser Dispel Magic dispels a limited amount of spells, buffs, and such. Good to have in case you meet a low annoying mage you're about to face off against. Pop this baby, let the good times roll. Let's go to level 3 next. Fireball. This level 3 spell does 1d6 fire damage per level. It's an AoE spell, very powerful for your first time using AoE magic. Max of that is 10d6 fire damage. I would suggest definitely getting this first or second. Haste, friendly targets in AoE, in other words up to the caster level, receives plus 50% movement speed, plus 1 attack rolls, plus AC dodge base, of course, and extra attack per round. Great to have. Make sure you cast it on the party, they'll love you more. Displacement, target gains 50% concealment. It's like invisibility, except for you'll be harder to hit. Summon 3, summons a dire wolf to fight for you. Better than the first 2 summon levels. So let's get to the rest of my suggestion for level 3. Spider Skin, plus 2 natural AC, plus 2 saves versus poison, and plus 2 hide checks. Now this all goes up 1 point at level 6, 9, and 12. Max is plus 5. Very nice buff spell starting out, of course. Flame Arrow does 4d6 plus 1 fire damage. You launch 1 more arrow for every 4 levels. Let me tell you, a very nice single damage fire spell. Pop it on someone that's weak to fire and have fun with them. Dispel Magic. Dispels magic, spells, buffs, and of course effects. Better than Lesser Dispel Magic. If you want to replace the Lesser Dispel Magic, this is a spell to, of course, debuff foes. There are casters, even clerics too, or say druids. Anyone that casts magic, basically. Hold Person paralyzes 1 humanoid for 1 round per character level. Great to have for crowd control. If that ogre has, of course, low will saves, of course, and then you want to cast against them, then do so. Then so this way you focus on his buddies, then go back to the ogre. So let's go to level 4 next. Here are some level 4 spells. Isaac's Lesser Missile Storm grants 1 missile per level, max is 10, each inflicting 1d6 damage. I want to say this right now, if it's a single target, yeah, that target will take heavy damage or it gets killed. If it's a whole bunch of foes, it's not bad to weaken the foes in the area. Good AoE spell to have. Elemental shield creatures attacking the caster takes fire damage, which is 1d6 plus 1 per caster level, which is good. While the caster has a 50% resistance from fire and cold. Good buff spell. Very good. Ice Storm AoE spell that does 3d6 blunt damage. Also, it does 2d6 ice damage plus an additional 1d6 ice damage per caster level. Very powerful ice AoE to have. Must have. Stone Skin grants 10 points and anti-damage reduction for 100 points before it goes bye-bye. Good shielding spell. Summon 4. Summons a dire board to help the caster. Great to have. So let's get to the next set of course, level 4 spells. The Greater Invisibility spell. Target becomes invisible. This means 50% concealment. Can attack. This effect won't go away. Unfortunately, True Seeing will see through this. That's the downside. Normal stuff like, for example, yeah, it will be hard to see. Good spell to put on yourself. Lesser Spell Breach. Removes up to 2 magical defenses from your foes. Wonderful to have. So you pop this. This will ensure up to 2 defenses your foes have. If they have any more, well, you have to use other methods or another Lesser Spell Breach in order to do that. Great to have. Must have, of course, for this level. Now, the next one is Least Spell Mantle. Absorbs the equivalent of up to 1d4 plus 4 spell levels. In other words, it will absorb some damage. After that, it goes away. This is the first thing you want to get in the spell mantles. And then after the next one, ditch this one. Everett's Black Tentacles. AoE spell that does 1d4 damage. If your foes are being grabbed, that's 1d6 damage, of course. And they can be paralyzed if they fail their Fortitude save. Great AoE spell to have. Pop this baby, and if they're being held, let the good times roll. Lesser Globe of Invulnerability makes caster immune to level 3 spells or lower. Great protection spell. At this point, you should definitely have this on you before doing big battles against, of course, certain casters. Next up is level 5. Let's go over the first set of level 5 spells. Summon 5. Summons a Shadow Mastoff to fight for you. That's not bad at all. Now, I prefer the Lesser Planar Binding. Summons an Imp if you're evil, a Fire Myth if you're neutral, or a Slasher Wolf if you're good. The Celestial Wolf is really good, I'm going to say. Good spell to have. Now, next up is Cone of Cold. Does 1d6 damage of ice in front of the caster. It does 1d6 also additional damage per level. So this ramps up big time. Max is 15d6. Great to have. It's like a room clear if your face against foes are weak to ice. Firebrand does fire damage in area. Does 1d6 per caster level. Max is 15d6. This goes random. Higher your level is, the more damage you do. Wonderful to have. I did use a one like that in Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition Infinite Dungeons. Just a few times I did clear the area. Lesser Spell Mantle absorbs the equivalent of 1d6 plus 6 spell levels. Must have. This is better than the least one. Ditch the least and get this one ASAP. So let's go over the next one. Big Eyes Imposing Hand. Hand grabs one foe. Foe suffers a -10 attack rolls. If you're facing against an ogre, guess what? Pop this baby. Ogre will be held. And its attacks will be very less damaging to you and your party. Great crowd control spell, let's be honest. Dismissal. Forces summon creatures to return from which they came from. In other words, you find a very pesky mage. Keep on summoning those annoying dire boars. Guess what? Pop this on it. It goes bye-bye. They waste a spell slot. You benefit from it. Then you go after them. Unless they're stupid, they do it again. And if you have another dismissal, pop that again. Must have. That's all I'm going to say. Lesser Mind Blank protects target from mind effects and, of course, spells too. It also removes mind effects if you have it on you. I'm going to say this. You want this. This is the first of the Mind Blank spell line. Get it ASAP if you can. Arc of Lightning bolt targets 2 creatures. It does 1d6 electric damage at 2 targets, and anything in between will also take damage. Max damage is 15d6 electric damage. You want this if you want to do some electric damage. Cloud Kill. Here's the deal about this. It's a very deadly spell. 1, 2, 3 hit dice foes dies instantly. No saves, no nothing. They go bye-bye. 4 to 6 hit dice must make a 4-2 saves or they die instantly. It gets deadlier at that stage. Now, if they make a successful save, I should say, they only take 1d4 con damage, which is Constitution. Now, next up is any foes over 6 hit dice. They only take the 1d4 Constitution damage. It's a great way to clear out those annoying little enemies. Now, this on you is real bad, especially if you're a mage and you have low forward 2 saves, you're screwed. Now, one thing to get rid of Cloud Kill is Gust of Wind. Cast that, Cloud Kill goes bye-bye. Just want to point that out. Now, on to level 6 spells. Before I go to level 6, I'd like to make a clarification about Cloud Kill. You cannot use it against undead, they're immune to it. So anyways, level 6 spells. Greater Stone Skin has 20/Amantite damage reduction. Better than a regular one. This absorbs 150 points. Better than the 100 point absorption before it goes bye-bye. Must get. Buff yourself up with it. Next up is Summon 6. Summons a dire bear to fight for you. Good to have. Another good alternative is Planar Binding. Summons either a succubus evil that does sneak attacks, which is good. A synth, which is neutral. I'm not sure if it does sneak attacks, but it's good to have. Or a celestial bear, a great tank if you're good. Well, those 3 options are very good. If you're evil, yeah, you benefit more in that. Next up is Chain Lightning. First target takes 1d6 electric damage per caster level. Max is 20d6. After that, any foes in the way, they'll only take half the damage. Great AoE electric spell to have if you want to use electric magic. Next up is Isaac's Greater Missile Storm. It's an AoE spell that shoots a missile. Maximum out of those, by the way, is 10. Damage per missile is 2d6 per caster level. Max, of course, is 20d6. This will clear out a whole bunch of enemies. If there's one foe there, they'll take a lot of damage. Otherwise, it's a nice crowd clearer. So let's get to the other half of the level 6 spells I am suggesting. Next on the list is Undead to Death. Slays 1d4 worth of undead per spell level. Max is 20d6. It'll go for the weakest, then the strongest. Must have spell. I mean, seriously. You want this. If you can't use Cloud Kill to kill your enemies, that's, of course, undead. Yeah, well, this spell is the go-to spell for you. True Seeing. Target with this can see hidden foes. This does mean hiding, and of course magical means of hiding. Like for example, invisibility spell, greater invisibility, you name it. It sees it all. This is a Bane spell for rogues. Trust me on that. You want this anyways. Even if you want to put it on an item, great to have. Next up is Glove of Invulnerability. Makes the caster immune to level 4 and lower spells. Slight upgrade over the 3-1. Now if you get this one, ditch the level 3-1 and keep this one. Last but not least is Greater Spell Breach. Strips up to 4 magical defenses from an opponent. Wonderful to have. If they have 4 defenses, that goes bye-bye. If they have 5, 4 out of 5 goes randomly. You really want this. After that, if they have any more magical protection, cast the lesser Spell Breach one. That's about it for level 6. Now on to level 7. Let's go over level 7 spells. First of all, Summon 7. Summons a huge elemental to fight for you. This is random on which type of elemental. Great to have. So the summon spells are start to really being up there. Next up is the Finger of Death. Target makes a 4/2 save or die instantly. And if the target is saved, they take 3d6 plus 1 per caster level damage. If I remember right, this is the undead is also immune to it. Great against the living. Use it against the living. Energy immunity grants immunity for the following elemental types: fire, ice, electric, acid, or sonic. That is for 24 hours. Must have. Memorize this ASAP. In fact, it's one first spell you want to cast on yourself. Shadow Shield. Caster receives plus 5 natural AC, 10/ magic damage reduction, and immunity to death effects. Yeah, that's right. That's the key word. It also is immune. Also, necromancy spells and negative energy damage gets reduced too, which is good. Must want to cast that on yourself, big time. Let's get to the last set of level 7 spells. Delay Fireball. It's a fireball that is set as a trap. Cast in the area. Foes walk in the area. And then foes take 1d6 fire damage per caster level. Max is 20d6. Very powerful spell to have. Now, in Neverwinter Nights 1, fun fact was you cast Time Stop, then Delay Fireball. And you cast a few of those. When the time stops, enemies step in and automatically they die. Unfortunately, no time stops, but still, this spell is very effective. You want to memorize this ASAP. Banishment gets rid of up to 2 summons in the area. If summons are annoying you, this is a spell to use. It's better than Dismissal. Next up is Mass Hold Person. Holds all human and human-like targets in the area in a 15 feet radius. They fail their resistance, they get held. Great crowd control spell. Mordenkainen's Sword. Summons a magical sword that helps the party. It acts as a construct. One full summon spell to have if you don't like the elemental one that you do get in this level. So I'm going to go ahead and now go over level 8. Here are the level 8 spells I'm going to go over. Greater Planar Binding. Summons Ira Ernest, which is evil, if you're that. Huge Elemental, which are neutral. Or Celestial Dire Bear, which if you're good. Great to have you go on that route. Next one is Summon 8. Summons a greater elemental to fight for you. Elementals are random, but it's another great alternative to have. Sunburst. This is the ultimate undead killer spell. It's an AoE spell that does 1d6 per caster level, max 25d6 on the undead. Non-undead takes a flat 6d6 of damage. Now, if you're a vampire, guess what? You must make a reflex save or die instantly. So watch out for that if you're one of them. Now, if your opponent's a vampire, great to have against them. All targets in the area also must make a reflex save or get blinded. Like I said before, the ultimate undead killer spell. Get this ASAP. You're leveling up, or better yet, buy it in the shops if it's expensive, but who cares? You want that spell. Horrid Riftling. All targets except for undead and constructs takes 1d6 per caster level damage. Maximum on that damage is 26. Great AoE spell to have. Drop in front of your opponents and let them suffer. Mind Blank grants immunity to mind-affecting spells and effects to caster and their allies. Party favorite. Get it. Let's get to the last set of level 8 spells. Premonition. Damage reduction is 30/Amantite. Absorbs 10 points of melee damage per caster level. There's no flat. Max course is level 30, so you're going to absorb a lot of damage if you cast this at 30. Wonderful spell to have on yourself. Protection from spells confers +8 to save versus spells for 24 hours. This gives you a nice defense against spells. You want this. Power word stun instantly stuns targets under 151 hit dice. Any over, they don't get effect. Any under, they get effect. Lower the hit points, the more likely get stunned. You want this as a nice crowd control spell. Incendiary Cloud. Cloud deals fire damage, which is 4d6 per round. Now, if you face some ice foes or something like that, drop this baby in front of you and let the good times roll. So next up is the final level, which is level 9. Now we're at the top tier, level 9 spells. Now, here's the deal about Gate. Opens an interplanar gate to summon a devil. Here's the deal about that. If you don't have protection from evil on you or your party members, the devil will attack you. Otherwise, the devil will attack the foes. Great summons. It's risk versus reward. Depends on how you feel on that. Big B's Crushing Hand. Single target spell. If held, target takes 2d6 plus 12 damage for rounds equal to the caster. This is the ultimate FU spell to your foes. Cast it on them if you have a hard time. If it works, they're going to get held. Will of the Banshee. Non-undead must make a 4-2 save or die in the area. It's an instant party wiper. If you're having trouble with enemies, like a lot of them, go ahead and use it. Mordenkainen's Disjunction. Attempts to get rid of all magic on the target. The ultimate dispel magic, I should call it. You must want this ASAP. Meteor Swarm. This is one of the ultimate AoE spells. Does 32d6 damage to a single target in the area. Or if there's a group of foes, they each take about 24d6 of damage. This is a crowd clear. You're having trouble with a lot of foes, cast this and just watch them die. Mass Hold Monster. Attempts to hold monsters in the area. They don't make a save, they get held. Great, I do mean great crowd control spell. You hold them in their place and cast Meteor Swarm or something. Weird. Target in the area must make a will save or else make a final 4-2 save. They fail both, they die. They succeed in the will save, nothing happens. They succeed in the 4-2 save, they take 3d6 damage. Those immune to mind effects will not feel the spell at all. This is a nice alternative spell to have. If you want to use it, go ahead. Etherealness. Caster and companions travel to the ethereal plane until any of them makes hostile action. Once that happens, they appear. This is like a nice sneak attack spell for everyone. Gets a nice jump on enemies. You set yourself up, and that's it. That's all for the level 9 spells. Next portion of this build video, we're going to go ahead and do the leveling up process. Let's not waste any more time and level up our wizard. You guessed it. At this point, we're going to go ahead and get the level 2. Put the same skills in there. Now, we cannot put our cross-class skills, which is, of course, Diplomacy and Tumble. You don't like Diplomacy, Appraise is a good skill. Still, we're getting our main ones done. And let me make sure everything is fine. And there we go. Hit the next button. And spells at this point, choose which one you want. My advice is try to save much gold as you can. So this way you have less to pick. Or you pick the undesirables at the level up while you get the desirable spells. So we're going to keep on leveling up our wizard since this is a pure wizard build. At this point, put your cross-class skills in there. Yeah, I have Tumble. I'm going to get that to 16. And if I need it to more, then I'll definitely do it. With the high dexterity, or say good dexterity, it'll help me out to get it close to 20 or at 20. Now, spell penetration, this gives you +2 bonus to caster level checks, being the creature's resistance. Great to have. I like to get this early on, so this way my spells will get less likely to be resisted. Like, for example, Magic Missile or Mel's Acid Arrows, for example. And if you don't have Mirror Image, this is a good time to get that spell. That spell is very valuable. Seriously. No wizard or sorcerer should leave home without it. So let's keep on leveling up our pure wizard. Alright, intelligence. We're going to get all the points in intelligence. You guessed it. You're a wizard, you're going to need intelligence. Now, a sorcerer, you're going to need charisma. Since we're doing pure wizard, intelligence. And besides, our spellcrafting skill will have a nice boost with high intelligence in it too. So let's go ahead and pick some spells. Now for the sake of this video, I'm just randomly picking spells. Later on, I'll buy all the spells. But still, you should buy the spells as you have the cash. Or say gold. So we'll just keep on picking our skills we need. There we go. And our cross-class skills are starting to look good. Now, I picked Greater Spell Penetration quickly because the character gains a +4 bonus on caster level checks to beat a creature spell resistance. In other words, our spells will be more likely to land, not get resisted at all against a monster. This is what we want, folks. Our spells to hit and land. Like, for example, we have access to Fireball. We cast it from a safe distance, and a creature most likely won't resist that. Of course, unless they have, immunity to fire. Watch out for those. So we'll level up our wizard much more and pick the usual suspect for the skills. And I do have the crafting skills too, since we have a lot of intelligence, which gives us a lot of skill points, which is a good trade. So I decided to go for Empower spell out of the two instead of Maximize, because that 1.5 damage is real nice for a wizard. Like, for example, our magic missile will be doing 1.5 more damage than it is normally would. Bad news is we have to do 2 spell slots higher in order to do that version of that spell. But still, it's a nice trade-off, everyone. Come on. It's good. So let's keep on going. We got the spell magic. I'm just randomly picking here and there. Still, if you want my spell suggestions, it's in the spell section of this build. So let's keep on going with our wizard. And I almost said lich, but still. We'll keep on going. Get our cross-class skills if we can. We're halfway for Tumble to get 10. Yeah. It's 10, every 10 points, 1 free AC. Neverwinter Nights 1 Tumble was better because it was 5 points every 1 free AC. It was crazy, but still, it's a good thing. So let's level our wizard. So we're back at the scores of 4. Every level of 4, you'll get yourself ability point. That's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28 for this game. So it's just pick the usual suspects for the skills. Make sure you get your priority, spells you want first. If you already got those via buying it or creating the scrolls for it or finding it, better yet, then pick anything else. That's the matter. Wizards are great though because we get to pick and choose which one we put on our spell book instead of selecting it and sticking to it. Still, each of the 2 arcane classes have some nice advantages and disadvantages to each other. So let's level up, pick the usual suspects for the skills. At this point, if you can, start putting a few points in the lore. So this way it'll catch up eventually. Just trust me, you're going to have so much skill points, you'll catch up with these. Now, I decided to extend spell for buffs for now because that gives our buffs a little bit longer in case we're in a long fights, which is a good thing. However, it takes a certain spell slots on that, so be careful on that. Now, at this point, you should start considering what type of creatures you're going to summon. You're going to do the summon path, the planar path, or if you're evil, undead is fine. Just know its advantages and disadvantages, especially undead because they can be turned. So be careful on that. So let's keep on leveling up our characters. Pick the skills you normally pick. Make sure concentration and spellcraft is on the top of your list. So let's go ahead and go get the next one. Let's see here. Spell focus. This gives you a bonus of +1 spell saves for direct damage and such. Also gives the edge on the skill we use to cast. So I pick evocation because we cast evocation spells. So we're going to have a nice advantage to that to abuse and use against foes. So yeah, as for spell focuses, always pick 1. People pick 2. No, pick 1. Now, you know, like evocation, necromancy, and conjuring is another nice option too. Necromancy is my second choice because yeah, they have some very nasty spells in that line. So let's level up our character much more. Usual suspect for the skills. If you have enough points, slowly put into lore. We'll catch that up big time. Lore's very neat though because you could sometimes identify items for free instead of wasting 100 if you get lucky on it. Now, bards say they have the best lore setup because they can identify so much. So let's see here. Yeah, you have other choices. Play on binding, create undead, all sorts of goodies too, and the summon spells. Up to you on that. Unless, of course, you pick one of the other schools, then you kind of stuck missing out on one of the other schools that's opposite of the one you picked. Up to you on that. So let's keep on going. We'll pick intelligence again, levels of 12. I should say 4, not 12. So let's pick our skills. Yeah, make sure you pick spellcraft, the crafting skills, and of course concentration. That's always important. Now I'm going to do this greater spell focus evocation. Now it gives us a +2 bonus for our skill we use. That's a good thing. It'll replace a +1, but we want that. Now we're at the level 6 spell line. Things are starting to get real up on that. which is good for a pure wizard. So let's keep on leveling up our character. Let's see here for a second. Yeah, wizard. Concentration, the crafting 3. Let's see here, diplomacy and tumble if you can, and spellcraft. That's important. Make sure you put points in that. If you have enough, drop some in the lore. It doesn't hurt. And now we're at the level 7 circle. Almost said like Ultima on. I should say Ultima, but still. Level 7 has some good spells. I like the enchanted sword. They're sometimes good as pets. They're a construct with all the positives. And there's delay fireball, delay blast fireball. Those are nice too. So let's level up our wizard. Let's see here. Put points into that. Yeah, concentration. That's number 1 with a bullet. Number 2 with a bullet is spellcraft. Yeah, I want to make sure I got that there. And then we'll pick some more level 7 spells. Unless you did find them, craft them, or bought them, then you just pick the ones that's suited for you. But still, like I said, I'm going to repeat it again. Need help? Timestamps will help you on the spell levels that you want to pick from my suggestion box, or say suggestion part. Let's level up our wizard once again. Yeah, this is a pure wizard build. I already did the other wizard build with the Candlekeep one. Oh, don't worry. In the future, I will do a red wizard one too. And believe me, I have some good ideals of it about that. So we're going to get our choice now. And there's a few things. We're going to go ahead and pick combat casting. It's a little bit late in the thing, but I want to get the other spell meta ones first. This gives us +4 bonus to concentration checks. That's great for us. And the other one I decided to do was craft magic arms and armor. Since we're going to be our crafting portion of the team too, since we got so much crafting skills. Now, if you're a human or so, yeah, you could get the wondrous one, and then you get the other one. Then the alchemy one you could get if you want to, but it's up to you on that. So if you have not have money for sunburst, this is a great time to get that spell at level 8, because that's one OP spell against the undead. Like I mentioned before, it's the ultimate undead killer. So let's level up our wizard. So now we're at 16. Again, levels of 4. We'll put more points in intelligence. And yeah, by the time this build is over, we're going to have 30 natural intelligence. That's very powerful for a wizard like this. So let's keep on going. Keep on leveling up much more. Let's see here. Where's it at? There's the lore. Yeah, I want to make sure I put some points into that. And then store it for later. We'll finish up last of the level 8 picks for now, because the next level will be level 9 for the spell circle, I should say. Yeah, I'm used to saying Ultima with the spell circles. But still, we're about to get the real good stuff. Well, we already got some now, but wait till it. And there we go. We're done. Now we're going to level up once again. It'll be level 17. We'll be a wizard. We're getting close to, by the way, the end of the normal levels, which is 1 through 20, before we get to the magical epic levels, which is great and wonderful in my eyes. And there you have it. And now we're at level 9 circles. So if you had not gotten any level 9 spells, pick the ones I suggested first. If you got a few of those, then pick which one you feel you're going to use more often than not. Wizards can definitely scribe scrolls and boom, have some good times with it. So I'm going to keep on leveling up our wizard. At this point, you'll start to select more level 9 spells than often than not. If you already got all the level 9 spells in the game, then you'll go down the list. Now we're at another feat. Let's see, where is it at? I picked the crafting one. I think it's a good time to go ahead and pick practice spellcaster wizards. This increases our casting class by +4. This is what we want. Since we're a pure wizard, we're going to be fully taking advantage of that. Now cross class, I'll for example, if it's 7/5, I'll take the 7 if it's a wizard, or I'll take a 5 if they're a wizard. It's a good feat to have. So let's keep on leveling up our wizard. So pick the usual suspect for skills. Make sure concentration and definitely spellcraft is max. Crafting I put there because, yeah, I like crafting as a wizard because they're the ones who make our magical stuff. No, in fact, I use Stan as my crafter in Neverwinter Nights too. So let's see here. At this point, like I said before, you can pick any level you want. If you did get all the 1 through 8 spells, then 9, you can finish it out. If you got all the 1 through 9 spells, then any other that you did miss, you could definitely get. We can scrap much as we want. Unfortunately, we do not get experience points, though. That's in Baldur's Gate 2. Now we're at level 20 intelligence. We should be at 25 intelligence, or if you have 18 at the start, you should be at 23 exactly. So let's keep on leveling up our character. There we go. Everything looks good. And let's see if I can make sure I do this right. Okay, we're all done here. We'll put some points into that. I always leave 1 or 2. Now we get ourselves another feat to select. I decide to do craft wondrous item, because this way you do some more crafting with certain items. Now, if you have the extra feat, I say craft wands is good, so this way you craft certain wands, and you don't have to, of course, spell slot anything else, which is a good thing. So we'll finish up selecting the spells. After that, we're ready for the epics. So let's finish that off, and there you have it. We're now entering the epic levels. That's 10 levels of fun in Neverwinter Nights 2. So we're going to pick the wizard. So we're now going to get some nice feats, besides getting more skills. So usual suspects for the skills, concentration, and spellcraft is a must. Diplomacy and, of course, tumble, get those up there. Tumble, I'm going to get to 16, and use items or my dex to get that to 20. So what we're going to do is pick, first of all, is epic spell penetration. So it'll replace the other 2, but we get +6 bonus to our caster level checks to beat a creature's resistance. At this point, it makes us very hard to resist certain spells unless certain creatures have immunities. Like, for example, if you cast a fireball against a creature that has fireball immunity, or say fire immunity, yeah, you're kind of screwed. But still, that is great, though. It's a great feat to have. We'll select our spells, and that's it. Now, if you're a sorcerer, you had to go change some things around, but wizard, nah. We should keep on scribing, add more to the book. We're learners. So anyways, we'll just keep on picking our skills, getting lore caught up. No feats at all for this level, but don't worry. There'll be plenty more to get the intelligence to 30. You will see that in a string of leveling up as we go along. So let's see here. There we have it. Let's keep on going. Usual suspects for the skills, definitely concentration, spellcraft, diplomacy, and tumble if you need to. And we're getting close to capping out the tumble and, of course, diplomacy, the cross-class ones. Also the other ones, too. So let's keep on going. And I think it's down there somewhere. Whereas epic spell focus, evocation will replace the other 2, but we get a +3 bonus to spell saves for all spells they cast in the chosen school. In other words, our evocation is going to be much more valuable to use against foes. And I decided to do Epic Vampire Feast. This is like an AoE spell that heals. Even though it is, I think, it's necromancy, but still it is great to have. We're in a bind. We cast this against non-undead. We drain their health. We all get healed up. And any extra hit points gets disappearing into the fade, but that's alright. It's a 1 use per day. I'll take it. And let's keep on going. So we're about to be level 24 soon. Another levels of 4. We'll put intelligence in it. We got one more, which is 28, but we'll catch those via feats at 30. And by the time we get to 30, you'll see me get very happy at that section. Well, actually, I'm going to be really happy at that section because, come on, it's a wizard. I want high intelligence, and I want to kick some butt. Let's see here. Energy drain, and well, I'm just at this point, I'm just randomly picking spells I have. Now, if you've been buying spells like crazy, you don't see no selection, you're doing the right thing in my eyes. You add into your spell book. In other words, you have plenty of tools you get to use and abuse against certain foes. So let's keep on leveling it up. There you have it. Let's see here. Yep, there you go. We'll put some points in lore. If not, I'm going to start putting points in praise. I figure we'll get that late, get a little bit of a late discount, but that's alright. Let's see here. And what we're going to do is now is great intelligence. This will add 1 ability point that's intelligence when we select this feat. There's other ones too, but I'd rather just do the intelligence ones because it's much more better. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do that also for 2 more levels to catch that up to 30. This is our goal now, is to use the feats for our wizard to get our intelligence right up to 30, including level 28, which is, of course, is the intelligence points we're going to pick. Yeah, we're going to cap that at 30, all right. So let's keep on picking our skills. And because we're going to start having high intelligence, we get more skill points. And we get to start putting some extras in there. So let's do greater intelligence 2. We could take this up to 10 times. This build, we're going to just do exactly 3 to get us all caught up. There we go. Level up our wizard some more. Let's do it. There you go. Concentration, alchemy, armor, weapons, spellcraft, and lore. Yeah, lore is now going to be on our permanent list. Also, tumble and diplomacy. And put some points, of course, into appraisal and such. So now what we're going to do is, again, greater intelligence. We're just going to go ahead and hit that real quick. And there you go. So we should be exactly at 29 intelligence, and we're about to be level 28. This will cap us at 30. There you go. See, 30 intelligence we have naturally. No items, nothing of that matter, and we're really up there. We'll use items to get that beyond 30, though. Also buffs, too. Yeah, there's a spell that buffs your intelligence big time via potions or magic. And there we go. No feats. Sorry about that. Now, I believe this next level is going to be the last level for feats. However, we get some good feats out of this. One of them we're taking very late instead of early on, but it's really worth it. Let me put that there, and there you go. And let's see here. I'm just make sure everything is all set, good to go. Put some points in appraise. Our usual suspects, including lore now, which is part of the family, to max out. Now, first thing I'm going to definitely pick is, believe it or not, is toughness. We get 1 extra point per level. That's retroactive. So for 29 levels, we get 1 hit point. That's 29 hit points we get instantly. That's very valuable for a wizard. Now, the last one I could do was 20 more hit points with the epic toughness one. But instead, I did the epic spell, mass foul. Now, this happens is I'll turn foes into chickens if they don't resist. They're 4-2 saves. This happens. They're very weak enemies permanently, and you get the slaughtered chickens. Just like you did in Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Very fun game to play on the SNES. Anyways, let's go back leveling up the wizard. This is level 30. This is the last time. Put your skill points in. Make sure you put them all in. If you cannot for some reason like I am, then you're kind of stuck, but that's all right. 1 extra point we left out would not hurt at all. Last time, select some freebie spells, and that's about it. 1 through 30 is now done. Next portion of this guide will be gear and stats advice. Here's how ability score works in Neverwinter Nights 2 with items. So here's the deal. Your attributes, if you want at 10, you gotta make sure you get an item that has a plus 10 on it. You can't do an 8 plus 2. For intelligence, for instance, you'll only get 8. So you gotta make sure you have 10 on the deal. First of all, you want intelligence, then after that, dex and constitution. If you want strength, that is fine. If any will saves are lacking, definitely boost that up. Any skills you want to get, definitely go for it. Especially tumble, get that to 20. Anything else like immunities, definitely go for it. Immunity to death magic is nice. If you get any items that has haste or a true seeing, that is perfectly fine too. Since you're crafting some of the items, craft yourself some nice stuff too. Definitely get the robes of the Archmage depending on your alignment and color. That's a great addition too for your wizard. And as always, make sure you get your spells for your spell book. This way you have more tools in the toolbox. So next portion of this guide, I should say build, is the combat portion. Now for the next portion of the video, we're going to do combat 2 ways. Now wizards doesn't have to matter for critical hits. I should say melee critical hits, but still I'm doing 2 categories. As with my other builds, foes you could critical hit against, and foes that are immune to critical hits. As always, buff up before you do fight battle, especially the major ones. And save often and early, especially before battle. So we're going to go ahead and test our character after we get the quick bar there. Yeah, make sure you have the quick cast bar there. It's very helpful. As we're about to face off against some, you guessed it, orcs this time. So let's go ahead and have some fun. I'm not going to use Sunburst. I'm saving that later. I'm using this spell, Horrid Riftling. That's a nice one to use. They walk into it, they die instantly. Already we cleared the field. I could have done with Vampiric Feast or better yet Mass Foul, just to demonstrate that. But still, even with a little bit of the lower level spells, because we're so capped in the level, we get the maximum damage. Now, if I would have did, the other thing was of course the Empower Spell Feat or something like that, yeah, I would do a lot more damage. Up to you all on that. If you feel you need a little bit extra, then go ahead and use those feats. If not, that's fine. And that was real quick, by the way. So our next type of foe we're going to face is What about something like the undead or demons or evil outsiders or those knowing good outsiders, depending on your alignment? Well, it's going to be like the yellow one too, so I've decided to go ahead and do Meteor Swarm to knock out the yard trash. And then, of course, let me make sure I get the next one, which is Sunburst. And if I can, I will try to demonstrate one of the spells to strip some protection from these foes. I'm about to do that, and there you go. Most of his protections are gone, so let me do another one of this from the Ninth Circle and show you how powerful this is. I will definitely get to Sunburst eventually, but for now, there's this annoying Lich here I need to take care of. You know what? He has too much protection. Okay, let me get in closer. Because I have Trucing, you have to get in a closer range, and there you go. We're going to go ahead and do a Greater Spell Breach to knock out more of his protection. And there you go. We did it. And I'm going to go ahead and toss a bonus, which is Sunburst. Watch how much damage that'll do against a Lich that's half health. Yep, kiss yourself goodbye, undead. There you go, 74 damage. That is not bad. That's actually good. That's a nice room clear against the undead. So, here are my final advice I'm going to do. As for the races, humans are good. However, if you would do Drow, the Yuan-Ti Purebloods, or any of the innate strong ones, that's a definite plus, which is nice. When you start out, try to get much of the spells as you can, so this way you select less when you level up. Definitely go for the crafting, because if you're in a party, you're going to be very useful. Finding crafting components, craft some weapons and armor, save some money. Craft yourself some nice wizard gear too, which is a plus. Always look for spells in shops. Make sure you look for enough innate items. As I said before, if the number said 10 on it, yeah, make sure you get it. You can't go 8 plus 4 for a knit, because it'll do 8. Make sure, this is very important, you nuke in the back, I should say, while your other characters go up front and tank for you. They distract, you destroy from a safe distance. This is it for my Neverwinter Nights 2 Pure Wizard build. This is Lord Fenton signing out. Thanks for watching, and have a great day or night, and do please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more guides, builds, and other videos from Neverwinter Nights 2. If you like what you see, then pick my suggestion on the upper left hand corner or YouTube suggestion on the bottom left hand corner. Have a great day or night, and do enjoy the view.